Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about graphing systems of inequalities. This is similar to graphing systems of equations, but it's when you have your greater than or less than symbol. Okay, might want some different colors for this, and I would encourage you to use some graph paper if you have it. All right, here's our steps. So first you want to graph your first inequality. So we have a dashed or a solid line for those, and then you're going to shade the area based on your inequality symbol. So it's just like solving or graphing one inequality. However, now you have two. So then you graph the second line and you shade, and the area that intersects, that's actually your answer, and your answer will be a graph. There are ways to get into it on how to write all those things out, but we're not going to do that here. Let's try this together. All right, and I apologize for the zoom on my graph. So let's see, here's our first one. I'm going to just graph it slope-intercept form. So I'm starting at my -3, and then my slope is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, excuse me. There we go, hard to see on my graph. I'm going to go ahead and connect my dots. Now notice my symbol here, it doesn't have this equal to bar like the second one does. So that means all of my dots for this line, all of my points are connected by a dashed line because it does not equal to. It's just greater than, it's not greater than or equal to. Ooh, I encourage you to use a ruler during this time. All right, and then I need to shade. So to do my shading, you can pick any point on this graph, and to use it as a test point, let me change colors here. So let's see. There it is, I saw it, there it is. Okay, nope. Pardon me. Here we go, pen, ink color, blue. All right. So if I pick any point, so I'm going to pick this blue, the 0, 0, my blue dot. So I pick any point that's not on my line. I'm going to plug it in and see what I get. So as I've lost my pen, there it is. It's too blue, I can't see it. All right, so I'm going to plug in the point 0, 0 into my x and y values. Okay, if 0, 0 is available, like it's not on your line, I would encourage you to use it. All right, go ahead and simplify this. I get 0 is greater than -3. That is true. 0 is greater than -3, so that means wherever my dot is, I want to shade that side of my inequality. So that's going to be here. So I'm doing a whole shading, kind of hard to do on the computer, but maybe a highlighter. You guys can use a highlighter, that'd be nice. So this whole area would be like nice and colored and shaded, and whew, it's really not looking cute over here. That's okay. I've seen worse graphs. I had a student once try to fill it in all with just smiley faces. So there's that. I've also lost my pen again. Here it is. So his paper looked like this. He just filled it all in with smiley faces the whole way. All right. So that's one of my inequalities. Now to do the second inequality here, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna change the color again. One, I can't see the blue. And also that we can have a little bit of clarity here. Let's go with purple. All right, so same thing. I'm going to graph at 3. So there's 3, and then -2. So I'm going to go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Cool, they intersect right there, but I'm not going to worry about their point of intersection right now, not for this video. All right, so there's my slope. And then here, this does have an equal to bar, so I'm going to go ahead and connect. Whew. Let's redo that. I'm going to connect my dots. Not much better. That's okay. Okay, and this actually continues through this space. So, same thing, pick a point. I'm going to pick 0, 0 again because it's free, it's available. Because I'm not using it on my line. This is just my test point to see, do I shade above it or below it? I'll give you a shortcut in a second. All right, so I have 0 is greater than or equal to 3. No, it's not, which means I don't want this area where 0 is shaded. So what I want is this area just right here, okay? And I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna keep going this way, even though the shading keeps going that way, because I'm really just interested in this area where they overlap. So this area. Okay, so I can pick any value or any coordinate point out of that little shaded area, and I can plug it into either of these equations, and it's gonna, or inequalities, and it's gonna give me a true statement. okay? So my answer is literally this graph because I do have infinite points to pick from in this graph, okay? All right, let's do a couple, and really that's the basic principles, the basic things you need to know for this lesson, right? We're not gonna get too crazy into it. You try these. I'm gonna go ahead and start. X is less than or equal to -3. So remember, every time it's X, that's just a vertical line because the slope is undefined. Pretend with me. Pretend it's a straight line. I love doing this on paper with a ruler. So if you got one, use it. This is going to be a dashed or a solid line because of my inequality symbol. Okay, and this is going to be less than -3. So that means I want everything that is less than. So that's everything this way, right? So I'm just going to kind of casually shade part of it. And we're going to leave my shading, not that. Okay, no judgment. All right, so I've seen some interesting graphs in my day. I'm going to rewrite my second inequality. Go ahead and divide everything by 3. Don't be scared of that fraction, because that just gives me -5 over 3x. That's my slope. And then -3. That one's fine. So then I'm going to go to -3 here. There's my slope. So down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 3. Kind of hard to tell. And then I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Backwards 3. Okay, get to that line so I can kind of see where I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 3. All right, I'm going to connect these as well with a solid-ish line. It's hard for me to draw in that direction. That's terrible. Oh, no. Thank you for bearing with us. Like this video if this has been entertaining for you. All right. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I want to do less or greater than. So if I plug in my point, and I'm going to still do 0, 0. Feel free to change colors because you might be sick of the purple. I'm starting to get sick of the purple. I'm just plugging in my X and my Y for zeros. So 5 times 0 plus 3 times 0 is greater than or equal to -9. Well, that's just going to be 0. Is greater than or equal to -9. That's true. So that means I want everything on this side of my line. So that would be everything here shaded and then everything over here shaded. But I just want the area where they overlap. Let me get the highlighter out. Pointer options. Here we go. Okay, so that means everything that's right here between these two sections, that would be my answer area. Okay, and how I know this too, this is greater than, so I'm going to shade above my line here where it's kind of positive. And then here, this was less than. So I want everything to go, like everything that's less than -3. Okay. All right, let me figure out how to get my pen back. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna erase all this so I can use this graph. So feel free to pause the video and spend some time studying that, looking at it. Just for spacing, I'm gonna erase this. The bottom two we have to rewrite into slope-intercept form. So that's going to be y is greater than or equal to -x plus 2. Remember, when you divide by a negative with inequalities, you have to switch the sign. Here, I'm just subtracting, so I don't have to do that. So I just subtracted my 4x. -1, okay. So I'm up here at 2, and then -x, so down 1 over 1. That's just a negative slope here. As best you can. Okay, I'm going to connect these dots as best you can. Hey, that was not too bad. Props for teacher Kendra. Okay. All right, so this is less than, so I'm going to shade under the line, but again, or above the line, excuse me. I'm going to plug in my 0, 0. I plug in 0, 0 here, right? I get 0 is greater than or equal to 2. That's a no. So I'm going to go this way. Yeah, you could do little lines like this too. Just know that it goes on forever that direction. All right, and then my bottom one, let's graph -1. Down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. Whew. This graph is hard to see. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. That's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. Just kind of estimating my graph here. Whoops. Estimated my dot too, apparently. All right, so we're going here. And then coming up here. We're going through that dot. Pretend with me. And same thing. I'm going to go back to 0, 0. Okay, this one's actually kind of hard to see. Let me do a different point. Whoops. Sorry, microphone. Let's do 1, 1. So I'm going to plug in the point 1, 1. And that's going to be 4 plus 1 greater than or equal to -1. So I get 5 is greater than or equal to -1, which is true, which means this point right here is in the area where my answers are true. So I'm going to go ahead and shade this side of my line, and that's all down here too. So that means, get my highlighter back out. That means the area that I want is through here. So some exceptions to this would be if you ended up, and I'm just going to kind of show you with the graph, if you ended up with like two, and these could be dashed, they could be solid, like two parallel lines, and if you have like this side shaded and this side shaded, right, you have no solution because they don't overlap at all. And then if you did have, now I don't want you to think, oh, I've got two parallel lines, immediately no solution. Not always, because you could still have two parallel lines and the middle could be shaded. It could be one under the line and one above the line, and your answer would still be this middle section here. So that could still be, this would have a solution. So solution. Yay. All right, so that one does have a solution. The other only weird one that kind of happens is if you ended up with just one line, for whatever reason, you find out your two inequalities are actually the same inequality, assuming that the symbol's going the same way and like one side shaded, then it would just be that one region. Or if you end up with the same line and both sides are shaded, now that could be all real numbers, because if your line is solid, then any number you would pick, any combo of coordinate points will totally work. Okay, so there's really not that many exceptions here. Really the main one would be this no solution here. Okay, all right, that's graphing inequalities. It's pretty much just being able to graph and know where your shading is. I would encourage you to use different colors while you're practicing, that way you can kind of see where they overlap, or use like a pink highlighter and a yellow highlighter, because where they overlap turns orange. Isn't that exciting? You didn't know you're going to get color lesson today. Okay, that's all I have for you today. All right, I hope you guys have a good day. Please like our video and subscribe to our channel, and I look forward to teaching you something new soon.